I've come out to one of the parks in Lincoln at this lake to try to get some pictures of some wildfowl. But I'm not just going to do that, because I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult for myself, and I'm going to use the Olympus E-PL5 with the 45mm lens. So I'm going to make it a little bit more challenging for myself to try and get these shots. I was hopeful that there'd be a lot of people out today, but it is a bit of a cloudy, horrible day, so that's probably why there's not a lot of people. But I really wanted people, because I wanted them to throw food into the water to encourage the birds, to get them closer to me. Unfortunately, they're not here, so I'm going to have to work even harder with this camera. So what I'll do is I'll just have a look around this lake, try to find the best compositions, and I'll go through one or two of those compositions with you and try to explain what I'm trying to do and the settings I'm using, and show you those shots. The great thing about this lake, and many like it, is that you get such a wide range of wildfowl here. You've got, black-headed gulls, ducks, geese, swans, moorhens, coots, all sorts of different birds that you can aim to take a picture of them. Some of them more colourful than others, and of course it's winter time now, so the colours aren't quite as vibrant as they would often be. But it's still a good thing to do, a good place to come and take photos, and a good way to capture wildlife up close. So as I said, I'm going to take a few shots. Let's see how I do. For me at least, one of the key things about wildlife photography and taking photos of birds is having a faster shutter speed as you can. Obviously, you might not want the fastest shutter speed, because you might want to get some motion blur, especially when a bird is taking off or landing, because obviously seeing the wings with some motion blur does have a bit of dynamism to the image. But generally, you really want to have a really fast shutter speed so that you can, get the animal still, so it's not moving, so it's as sharp as you can. So I've gone for 1/500th of a second. I'm on manual mode, and I've opened the aperture as wide as I can, which on this lens, this 45mm, is f1.8. So that gives me plenty of range, but I have upped my ISO just to give me that bit of extra flexibility. So that's how I've set the camera up, and obviously it being even though it's overcast and cloudy, it can be a bit bright, and if I underexpose the image, it's going to look too dark. So as far as the camera's meter readings goes, I'm going to try to slightly overexpose, and that'll enable me to take the shot. The challenge I've got now is try to encouraging these birds to get close to me, so I'm close enough with this 45mm lens, because that's going to be my challenge. The other important thing about taking photos of birds on water is to get as low as you can to the water. The images never look good when you've got a steep angle. You really want a shallow angle and get your camera as low as you possibly can to the water, and hopefully that will give you the best opportunity to take a good shot. So I've got these geese and ducks are just down here. I don't know if you can see them in the picture. They're just coming into view. And I'm going to try and take a quick snap now to see how I do with these first images. What they tend to do is, as soon as you go to them, they turn around and start swimming away, which is not ideal. You want them either coming towards you or on their side. That's the best way of taking it. I've just taken the first image now, and I'll put that up and show you what that looks like. The other thing I've done, I've put the camera in burst mode, because although I'm taking super fast images at 500th of a second, obviously if I'm just taking one at a time, I'm probably not going to get the shot. So I'm going for burst mode on this camera, which is about, I think it's 6 or 10 frames per second. I can't remember actually, but that's going to give me enough images to actually get one, and get one at least with a bird's head out of the water, or just coming out of the water would be quite nice. So I'm going to try and get some over by pretending to throw some bread or something food to them, which I know is not fair, but it'll help attract them towards me. I love the green colour of the mallard's head. It looks so vibrant. It's so nice in the male. Obviously, sadly, the female mallard is sort of a bit grey and brown and bland, but the males are lovely and got a really vibrant green colour. There's some nice black-headed gulls, which are not black-headed at the moment because it's winter. They seem to be everywhere, and there's some geese just here that are just coming really close to me, so I'll try and get one of those now. I'd really like to get a moorhen or a coot. Would be quite nice if I can catch one of those. There's a few moorhens in this lake. That would be quite cool. So once again, my settings are currently I'm set at 1/500 a second, f1.8. I've got the widest aperture I can, really, just to give me that fast shutter speed and try to. Obviously, I'm not too worried about the ISO on a day like today. It's daylight. I don't think the ISO is going to be a problem, but obviously I don't want it too high. I think I'm about 800, so I might look to just drop that down if I can. As you can see, I'm on f2.2. I've dropped the ISO to 400 on 1/500th of a second. I'm not too worried about the aperture, to be honest. If the aperture is really wide or really small, it doesn't make a lot of difference, really. It's really about the shutter speed. There's a nice picture of a couple of geese, so I'll try and get that now. They move around a lot, so I've gone high burst mode. That's nice because it's got a nice reflection of its head in the water, and now it's licking its bottom. So ideally, if you're going to get two birds like that, they need to be separated. You need some space between them. So I'm going to try and get really low to the water now, see what I can do. I've got so low to the water then, underneath, that you can't see what I'm doing, but I've got so low. The only worry I've got is I've not got no strap to hold this camera, so I've got to really hold it tight in my hands, otherwise it could be straight into this lake. I think I've just got a nice picture there. I'll keep trying, and I'll show you the results in a second. A lake really gives us the opportunity to get really up close to nature and get those wildlife shots that we wouldn't normally get, where if there's birds in a tree or birds that fly fast, they're really difficult to take photos of. But a lake offers a completely nice, easy, relaxed opportunity to get those wildlife shots. Obviously, it's a bit of a challenge in these sorts of parks because there's obviously dogs roaming around which easily scare off the birds. But on the other side, where people are throwing food at the birds, they tend to be coming closer to you, and they tend to be a bit more lax around people. But if there's no food, they don't like coming close to you, which is always a challenge. So I'll try and get low again underneath this ledge. I'll get the camera as low as I can to try to get some shots. So I'll just have a quick go now. They're just not quite close enough to get with my 45mm lens. And the other challenge with this camera is it's really slow. It takes ages to load the pictures, and it takes ages to save the pictures. It's just horrendous. Every picture I take, I have to wait several seconds before I can take another one. These geese and swans have come really close to me now, and I'm getting some what I think look like nice shots in camera. Obviously, I won't know until I get back to see if they are any good, but I'm kind of quite enjoying this. It's quite nice, despite the gloomy weather, the low cloud, and it's just starting to rain. I'm quite enjoying the shots I'm getting. All of the pictures I've taken so far in sort of horizontal landscape. That's mainly because my E-PL5 has only got the ability to take, for the screen to flip up landscape. It won't twist. I'd have to hold the camera like that, and it's not so easy to see. But I think I can do all right with the camera at this angle, with the shots taken at landscape. So I'll keep trying to take a few more, and I'll see how I get on. these swans in the distance just look amazing. So I'm really hoping these images come out, because I'm getting really low. I'm almost touching the water with my camera to try to get the lowest image as I can. And I think they look good. I have to admit, I think these look really nice. So fingers crossed these come out well. So I've taken a few pictures of these swans and ducks and geese. I'm going to go over to the other side of the lake now and see if I can get some pictures of the black-headed gulls and some gulls, see if I can get any of that. They're a bit more tricky because they don't come inshore so much, but I'll see what I can do, see how friendly they are. Thanks very much indeed for watching this video and getting this far. That's great, because I know these videos can be a little bit dry, especially on a day like today when not a lot's happening. But I hope you found it interesting. The fact that you've got this far, hopefully you have. If you like this video, well, I'd be super happy if you'd give it a like. And as always, if you kind of like the content that I'm producing, it would be great if you subscribe to the channel. I think less than 10% of you that actually watch my video subscribe to the channel. So if you really feel generous and you feel like you wouldn't mind doing it, then I'd be super happy if you'd subscribe. That'd be fantastic. Once again, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.